Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new video. I am Gray and you are watching my channel. This lighting looks a little bit dark. Let me try and move. I don't know what's going on with the lighting, but oh well. In this channel, Gray is dedicated to recording and uploading content and not necessarily worrying about editing and whatnot. Although I've heard that editing gets you a little places, the good cinematography, the good animations, the sound effects, and all this stuff. But you know what? We're in quarantine, and even if we weren't, actually, I can't even blame it on that. Even if we weren't, I like to do things raw. I like to do one takes, and it is what it is. That's how I do my podcast, for the most part. But for today's video, I have a little Q&A set up for you guys. Like I said, actually, I don't remember if I said in the previous vlog, but truth be told, I know I'm not, people don't have questions for me and whatnot. So a lot of the questions that I have, and by a lot, I mean the 5 questions that I have, come from the same person. I was hoping that I would get at least 3 questions, so that way I can spend time on them, and sure enough, I did get some questions. For those of you who don't know, I do have 4 Instagram accounts. I have my personal Instagram account where I did ask for questions, which is friends, family, and stuff like that. I have my writing Instagram account, which is at g.r.luna. And then on top of that, I have my podcast account, which is at Jomo Podcast. And then I have my boyfriend and I actually started a workout account, and it's called fitnessbug_20, I believe. However, we didn't really get to use much of it because we went to quarantine and we haven't posted anything really. But yeah, it's fitnessbug20. We haven't even posted a picture on there, but yeah. So I did ask a few questions I posted on my story on all these accounts for, people who have questions, and luckily some people did ask some questions. Those of you who asked, thank you so much. And I'm gonna go through those right now. So the first 3 questions that I got on my writing channel or writing page on Instagram. The first one is from Jacoves, maybe? I'm not sure. That's who it is. Focus. And the question is, do pickles belong on pizza? I was mind blown by this question. I've never heard this question in my life. I've never even heard of pickles being on pizza. I am a pickle lover. I love me some pickles. However, I am very picky with what I like my pickles. I don't like pickles on my hamburgers, like beef hamburgers. I don't like it. Now, give me a Chick-fil-A sandwich. That better have some extra pickles in it because there's something about a good juicy chicken sandwich and pickles that is delicious. I've never heard of it on pizza, but I will say that I can't say yes or no because we're gonna have to give it a try eventually. What an interesting question. I wonder where this person is from, because truth be told, I've really never heard of pickles on pizza. Second question is from Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. Question is, are you going to be writing more poetry soon? I hope so. I hope I do write some more poetry soon. I've been working on it. I know the previous video, it was me writing some poetry. That was really fun, but I did have a hard time with it. I think given the circumstances that we're currently in, I just lack the inspiration and whatnot. But hopefully I do want to get this writing page up and going again. I want to post poetry like I used to, and I'm hoping that I can get that up soon. I have been writing poetry outside, which I kind of explained in the previous video of me asking my friend for words to write poetry. And yeah, so that's where I've been writing poetry. I do have poetry that I've written, but I haven't made public. I just keep it to myself, because 2020 was supposed to be the year, is supposed to be the year where hopefully, fingers crossed, I published at least a 20-page poetry book. I'm hoping for very little, as long as I do something. It doesn't have to be, because I feel like most of the time I tend to over aim, I guess, or I have like this broad idea of like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that, and then I fall short and I just trash it. So for 2020, one of my goals was to do that backwards. Start small and see where that can take me, and that's where the poetry comes in. I'm going to start small and see where we go and what road we travel on and see where it's going. So I answered that in a very long way, but am I going to be writing more poetry soon? Yes. That should have been the answer from the beginning. I apologize for that. JNY 7181 asked, and if I'm not mistaken, this is my roommate Jancy. Hi, Jancy. What do you think we will learn as a society from COVID-19? Ooh, that's a good question. As a society, I think we're gonna learn to not take things for granted and make the little things worthwhile. I think a lot of people during this time are gonna learn what talents they have and things, given that there's a lot of people that are staying home. I know there's a lot of people that are still going out to work and whatnot, but I think we're gonna learn to slow down a bit and not be too rushed to get places or do things. And hopefully as a society we learn how to value not only family but each other as people. I think I mentioned before as well how it's crazy to see how people are buying in bulk, but it's also very rewarding to see that. I saw a post, I think it was on Facebook, that some guy went to Walmart. This is before like the limitations were set, and he bought a lot of toilet paper, like a lot. And people were giving him the dirty eye. They were trying to steal his stuff and whatnot. But yeah, he bought a lot of toilet paper, and it turned out that he parked outside of Walmart, and when older people were walking out without toilet paper, he was gifting it to them. So I think that's really nice, and I think that says a lot of not only him but as people. I also seen communities come together. Hey, I have such and such type of baby food that I'm giving away. Do you know anybody, or would you like some, depending on who you are and what you are. So I think as a society we're gonna learn to value each other a little bit more, and hopefully this is an eye-opener to a lot of people that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you're still human, and what you value and what you hold dear to your heart is what's gonna come a long way. Because again, it doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're poor, we're in this together. So yeah, I think that's what I expect to learn from this as a society. Just learn to value each other a little bit more. Okay, now for my other page, let's see, where are the questions? Oh, Jancy asked another question on here. Do you believe in ghosts? I don't believe in ghosts. I believe that, yes, there is natural or spirits or whatever roaming around. However, I don't believe in ghosts. I feel like I don't know, it's tricky because it's almost like I do believe in ghosts, but I don't. It's one of those things of like, I'm not gonna mess with it because I have no desire to be haunted. But if it comes, then so be it. But it's also like the I'm thinking in Spanish right now, and it's how they say ver para creer, you know, like I have to see it to believe it, and I haven't seen anything. I do have one experience from when I was younger, but I mean, I didn't really take it as that. I was sleeping in my bed, and my bed was close to a window, and by the windowsill, I had a bar stool where I had my alarm clock. I'd put my glasses and stuff, so I kind of used it as a nightstand. And in the middle of the night, I was dreaming, or I mean, it was like between a dream and not a dream. And there was a little kid sitting on there, and it just kept playing with the blinds, going up and down, up and down. And I was like, oh my God, can you stop? And I looked over, and I did see, you know, the little boy or little girl, I don't know, a little kid that was sitting on there. But I am such a heavy sleeper that I turned the other way. I was like, you are so annoying. I covered my face with my pillow, and I went back to sleep. A few days passed, and my dad was like, hey, the craziest thing happened to me last night. And, you know, my mom and everybody was like, whoa, what happened, you know? And he was like, I swear I saw your brother walk into the room last night. And my brother was like, what? I didn't walk into the room. He's like, I know. Now I know it wasn't you. He's like, but there was this little kid that was walking back and forth, back and forth. He kept opening the door to the room and coming in and going out and coming in and going out. And I was like, hey, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? He was thinking it was my brother Tony. And it turns out that it wasn't my brother Tony. And I was like, oh my God, that same thing happened to me a few nights ago with the little kid that kept playing with my blinds. But I was too sleepy that I was like, oh my goodness, get over it. Like, I'm trying to sleep here and you're being annoying. Like, get over it. So that's the only encounter I've had, but I didn't really think much of it, to be completely honest. And I mean, so it's one of those, it's a tricky thing. The next two questions come from Miss B_7. Hi, Betty. Future plans and goals. My future plans consist of writing. I do want to get back into the writing wagon. I want to create a short story, which I'm currently working on one now. And also I want to work on my poetry. As I mentioned in the previous video too, I kind of want to do a collection of poetry, take advantage of the situation, and, you know, write some quarantine poems or something of the sort. But I haven't. So those are my plans. Those are my goals. Of course, everything that revolves around my goals is creative. Revamping this channel was not part of my plans or goals, but here we are. So that's pretty cool. Which segues right into the following question. What will your channel focus on? Your art, life, everything? For now, I'm not sure what it's going to focus on. As of right now, it feels like it's focusing on my art, my creative outlets, whether it be writing, whether it be whatever it may be. I have art for days. I'm creative. If I'm not working on my podcast, I'm working on my short story. If I'm not working on my short story, I'm working on poetry. If I'm not working on that, I'm learning how to draw. If I'm not doing that, I'm painting. If I'm not doing that, I'm cross-stitching. If I'm not doing any of that, I'm recording a video, or I'm doing my podcast, or I'm thinking of something dumb to record and, you know, make a little clip of something. But all in all, my life is full of creative, and I think the channel is gonna show a little bit of that. I think I've said this 1,000,001 times. I have some things up my sleeve that I do want to convey that go into the realm of art, and I keep looking off because I have my table right here is full of art stuff. I think that's what I plan to focus on, but at the end of the day, who knows, maybe in the near future I will walk out with my camera and just vlog, daily vlog or not daily vlog. I do want to get my boyfriend on here. I've been trying to get him to do a video with me, and it's been nearly impossible, but I will say it has to do a lot with me as well, because for the past couple of days I've been dealing with what is, I guess, known as ovulation pain. And girl, let me tell you, if you have not experienced that pain in your life, you are one lucky human being, because that is the worst pain I've ever felt. I've been glued to a heat pad for the past 3 days, and it's just been horrible, which is why I also haven't posted. But along with just all the creative outlets and everything, I also want to focus on perhaps life, mental health, and things like that, which is nothing new. It's kind of what I do on my podcast, except on my podcast I go a little bit more in depth, and it's also more, I feel like I'm more ballsy on my podcast, and I can talk, and I'm not afraid of what I'm saying or anything of the sort, because I'm behind a screen, nobody can see me, nobody can anything, whereas here I am recording myself, so it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe the answer to that question is a little bit of everything. So at the end of the day, who knows? But yeah, that is all the questions that I have today, and I'm very, very thankful. That's actually more than 3 questions, and thank you to those of you who did ask questions. I know a lot of people were probably cringing at my post and be like, oh my god, she thinks she's a YouTuber, so could YouTuber, you know? I don't. I just wanted something to do, and hey, why not? You know? So before I go, if you are interested, please follow my social media platforms. That is my Instagram, my Twitter. Everything is going to be in the description down below. Along with that, I'm going to conclude this video here, and just going to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little bell for the notifications wherever it's at. Remember, I'm not going to edit this, so it's a one take and one take only. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, my amigos, have a great one.